Well, if you're familiar with anime as a medium, then what comes to mind when you hear slice of life? Go ahead, try and picture it. Cute girls gathered around at lunch, overly excited conversations, a whole lot of nothing, I'm guessing. But what if I told you there's actually been a way to go deep with this formula? I mean, really deep. So deep that I don't even think it counts as slice of life anymore. The success of using slice of life to relate a narrative has been very slim. Hell, I don't even think there's been a serious attempt outside of these two that I'm thinking about. But two anime that come clear to mind for me is Barakamon and Sangatsu no Line, also known as March Comes In Like a Lion. Both have believable, sympathetic protagonists, beautiful messages, and heartwarming casts which come together to tell a pretty mature story. It's no wonder that others have seen the charm in these deceptively simple concepts that give new life to a rather tired genre. The first reason that I love these animes so much is because these shows have perfect examples of character growth. I mean, there's immense growth to both protagonists, and it's beautiful and easily relatable. Barakamon and Sangatsu no Line more or less has themes that have to do with mental wellness, be it anxiety or depression, and the fight that's in here. Which is a fight that we all go through. First of all, Seishu Handa and Kiriyama Rei are both young up-and-comers in their field, calligraphy and shogi, respectively. You can only imagine the pressure both externally and internally that they'd feel to succeed. Every single step forward can mean they risk 10 steps back. So how do they respond to this? With a loud-ass hell yes, of course. They still charge on regardless of their troubles, which is a beautiful show of mental strength. One such struggle would be dealing with other people. To elaborate, it's seen that both Rei and Honda are maladjusted to social contact in the beginning. One is a nervous wreck that cracks at the very mention of inconvenience and struggle, while another carried the burden of expectation and success as he attempts to become a professional shogi player from so long ago. It's a surprise he hasn't broken already. If I were to give these descriptions to any person in the street and ask them if they were to be good concepts for characters, they'd probably scoff and say that's weak. But that's the point. They start out just like this, so the audience can follow their journey of shaping their own life. That's why I love these two so much. They realize they're in a really shitty place, but they want to fix that. And that's what I see too often in real life. I got a little off track, but the point remains that growth is the key in these two names, just like any other story worth telling. An important point worth noting is that even if these two characters are meant to represent mental instability, they aren't brooding assholes either. They are also prone to embarrassment, laughing, and shock, like a real human being, which only serves to make them feel even realer. What I also love is how these two anime that make these already real characters feel even more human through the message that they're trying to convey. It's a rather simple one. Life is really hard and confusing at times. However, if you fight for it, it gets an unthinkable times better. For Hana's case, life was confusing because his parents had coddled him too much since they only saw him live for him as a child, and neglected to teach him the finer aspects of life, like how to socialize or control his emotions, which leads him to sock an old man when he points out a weakness in his calligraphy technique. Hell, his mom can barely trust him with making decisions right now. She was worried sick about her child the entire time that he was on the islands, even though he's a fully grown adult. But it's through the Goto Islands where he truly learns to grow. No more textbooks, no more stroke orders. I mean, learn what it means to be a good human being, as he befriends the children of the island. As for Rei, his path was a much darker one. He was a much quieter child that preferred to play shogi not because he liked it, but because that's how he connected with his father. Of course, he wouldn't have the ability to do this anymore, as his entire family was killed by a drunk driver. From there, you would think it'd be another run-of-the-mill orphan story, but that isn't so. He's actually adopted by the father's best friend, Masachika Koda, and raised as his own. However, he raised him too much as his own, and soon neglected his two other children as he set his sights on making Rei a pro shogi player by middle school. So in the 17 years of his life, all he's known is shogi. Now he has decided to live out on his own, and learn what it means to live as your own person, and carve your own path. Of course, if I were to go on about the protagonists or themes, I would be missing another one of the show's shared strengths, which is the cast. For Barakamon, half of its selling point was the fact that it was going to have cute children in it, and it delivers. The fact that the voice actors do such a good job emulating children, as well as thoughtful character design that helps each one stand out on their own merit, helps them feel real. And finally, these faces. How can you say no to this face? Even this one. I mean, cute in anime is barely a remarkable trait anymore since it's at least attempted everywhere. But it's actually important to note here because it serves as a plot device. Yes, I said it. Cute children are a plot device. They are genuine, naive, and straightforward mini people that have little bits of wisdom for Honda to pick up on, believe it or not. It's with their help that Honda is able to mature into the somewhat capable adult caregiver they don't really need, but don't mind having around either. And with Sangatsu, where can I start? Well, with the three sisters, of course. The Kawamoto sisters play no small part in the anime, as they are the driving force of Rei's development. With the eldest sister being the first to open her home and heart to Rei one winter day, the other two soon do the same and treat him as if he was one of their own. As you can see, they give him a spot at the small dinner table at their snug home. This forces him to thaw out his heart that he had hardened against the harsh world and experience something that he hasn't been able to for a long time. A family, a place to belong, a place of refuge away from the uncertain world of shogi. And this closeness doesn't end here, as he also meets many friends of shogi, like the teddy bear and the self-proclaimed best friend of Rei Kiriyama, Nikaido, the reserved Kai Shimada, the suave Mr. Smith, and hell, he even has his homeroom teacher on his side. An even better detail that enhances these characters is that they all too have their own shortcomings and issues that they deal with, which puts Rei, again, right back at home. All of these characters have backstories that are just as compelling as his own, which makes the entire cast feel sympathetic and relatable, not just Rei. This is a show where the audience is able to connect to almost each character on screen because they feel so fleshed out, to the point they may as well be real. Well, it's clear here that it takes a certain kind of vision to use anime to tell such deep stories, let alone stories about some calligrapher and shogi player. That's why I hold these two so dear. It's just so endearing. Some may look to Soul Reapers, pirates, or ninjas for inspiration, but all I need are these two, because I also see myself in them. And seeing them try to live on in life the best that they can assures me that I can do the same. I mean, that's one of the reasons we watch anime, right? To see people do the best and inspire us to do just the same.